Hi everyone, my name is Adriana R. King, head literary expert and story consultant at fantasticliteraryservices.com. Conflict is the cornerstone of every good story, but so often I see stories where the conflict is confused, muddled, or even absent. The reason this happens so often is that many writers don't understand much about the three components that make conflict work. These three elements are a clear character objective, obstacles that stand in the way of accomplishing this objective, and risk. All three elements need to be present in order to create that lovely feeling of tension readers experience when they become invested in a story. The objective is what the protagonist or character is searching for. Every action they take is in pursuit of this objective. If a character is dying of dehydration, then their objective is to obtain a glass of water. However, this is not their only objective, or rather, this is merely the physical manifestation of that objective. Their true goal is for survival, for life. As the character crawls upon the dusty floor, rasping and coughing, begging for water, they are really begging for their life. Remember, a glass of water is never just a glass of water. While most objectives take a physical form, it is what that thing represents that is the true objective. But this alone does not make conflict. If I was dying of dehydration, but there was nothing to stop me from standing up, walking to the cupboard, pulling out a glass, and filling it with water, there would be no tension. This is why we need obstacles, something that stands in the way between the character and what they are searching for. This might be some form of physical barrier, situation, another character, or even an internal battle. But ultimately, it doesn't matter whether the character is stranded in the desert, tied to a chair by a kidnapper, or is deathly afraid of water. There must be obstacles. I find that most writers have this element pretty well covered. Everyone knows that there must be some form of antagonist. What most of my writers struggle with is either identifying the ultimate, believable, and relatable objective I described earlier, or, even more common, they struggle with creating realistic stakes or risk. Risk is one of the more elusive elements of conflict. Many writers know that their characters are searching for something. While they may not be able to identify the true objective, it is often not even necessary. If I describe a man with severe dehydration asking for water, I don't have to state that what he really wants is to save his own life. Either this is too obvious to need expounding upon, or, with more complex emotional or physical needs, it is often best left up to the readers to figure out for themselves. While I still hold that every writer should, and that the great ones do, have in their own minds an understanding of their true objective, as it makes the writing more intentional, lazy writers might still get away without it. Risk, however, is the sole responsibility of the writer. What is at stake, what the character stands to lose, must be factored into every equation. In the water illusion I have used before, the risk is obvious. If the man does not receive water, he will die. This is only obvious because he is mortal. If the character was some form of deity, at most he would be risking discomfort, and the story would not hold as much meaning. But what if I write about a character who acts in a way that society might deem irrational? What if she spends most of her waking energy imagining epic battles, musical numbers, and animated scenes? Her objective might never be stated, but every time someone tells her that she needs to live in the real world, and every time she refuses and continues on her path, we, the readers, realize that she has her own objective. We then begin to hypothesize about this. Perhaps she needs the world to become brighter. Perhaps her ambition in life is to become a filmmaker or a writer. Maybe she needs someone to see her as the creative person she is, instead of trying to conform her to societal standards. If we then learn that her mother has passed away recently, or that her father doesn't approve of her life's ambition, we then add these clues to our understanding of her objective. The conflict in this idea is very clear. Society tells her that she needs to become more grounded. Her teachers may send her to detention for not paying attention. Her father may yell at her every time she starts to space out. Kids at school may bully her. These are her obstacles. But what is she risking? If she gave up her imagination, what dire consequences would there be? Why is it so important to her that she would stand against her entire support network? This is the question that every writer must understand and be able to answer in order to create a compelling conflict. Remember, not every risk has to be life and death. In the case of the dehydrated man, that is as it must be. But for the imaginative girl, if the writer told us that she had to keep imagining or else she would die, no one would believe it. The risk must match the circumstances. So what is our imaginative character risking? Let me know what you think in the comments below.